Right. Welcome to the October 16th, 2023 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the City of Plattsburgh. We have two things in front of us. We'll hear them in the order that they are on the agenda. Chris Abler first. Lana,
Step right up.
step right up.
All right,
Jump in the hot seat.
here we go.
First off, we're a 5-member board. We only have 4 members right now. I do have a 5th member on their way. What I'd like to do is go over what you've got and see how things go. If we get to a point of voting and you don't want, you have to have 3 positive votes for it to be successful. If you don't want to vote, it's just 4 of us. Just let us know and we'll either postpone or we'll wait till she gets here and we'll whatever. Okay.
Sure. Do we get a preliminary favorability?
I think
Roll the dice?
you could ask Darlene back there. She'll probably tell you. You'll have a pretty good idea of which way we're feeling.
No,
Okay.
I have been surprised. So I am naive and disillusioned.
Okay. Let me put it this way. I think yours is a lot less controversial as to what you're doing, although we'll hear you out, and then we also have to discuss some things as to whether you talk to Lisa.
What I have.
As to whether we can even vote on that.
Okay. Go on. Part of it.
Well, we could vote on part of it, but. So. Yep. All right. So what are you doing?
So basically, there's 2 structures that you know. Back in the day, Terry saw, well, there was originally a structure that was there that was being utilized by a nursery plant, I think some plant or so forth. Building was in disrepair, right on the lot line, and we said, we'd like to recreate the structure, stay footprint, move in compliance with the zoning laws. I wasn't aware that this was zoned as educational purposes only with my building. So, you checked off the box and this is why we're here today. But be that as it may, we've been using the structure in the midst of COVID because we needed to use it. So we had no idea, quite frankly, that we could use the structure for what we were using it for. But this is just to take care of patients, do the right thing by patients, keep folks safe. And it's very simple. All we want to do is create a place for a nurse, a couple of exam rooms, so that we can take folks that have respiratory infections, potential COVID patients. Most of them should be testing negative. We don't want to put COVID patients in direct contact with office staff. We don't have anybody with potential COVID being in a waiting room in the main structure. It's perfect for this need. And so we just want to do right by the city, right by our patients, right by our office staff.
Right on it. Yeah, there's our 5th person.
How's it getting better?
There you go.
I have a question.
Yes.
So one of the issues is parking. Might even be the primary issue. Would you be increasing the patient load on the property or the staffing load on the property?
Not really. So the answer is pretty much no. We do have parking in the back area. But the amount of parking should not change all that. No. What we're doing, we're taking the same patient population, we're just stratifying them out. So that folks with potential infections can be separated from non-sick patients.
So there's parking there on in the picture, the area picture. That you're showing up above here. Is that on the property? It'll be up on the screen, but they're gonna put it on the screen. There we go.
Yeah, still. There's parking in the front, there's parking in the back.
Right, so, so this, it's just a concern that those parking spots that you're utilizing in the back are all on the front.
The parking that's in the back of the structure,
Yeah,
at least from.
but you do,
Yes,
yes,
so. and I understand there's 90 acres back there, so we can keep on going.
How do we deal with that?
Jim contacted you a while ago about the second floor. You said there's an office up there. You know approximately the size of that square footage, size of that office.
There's a kitchen up there. We use some of it for storage, we're just guessing, total square footage of the upstairs.
Just of the office that's upstairs.
Oh, my office? 10 by 12?
That's the case, then. Something right in the line.
right on.
But does having the extra lease space off the bat? Mitigate
I'm
any of
just looking at that. Is that paved back there? Or
Small as it does. Why would the office space upstairs have anything to do with the?
well, here's the deal. When you're looking at the property itself. The total apartment space is based on square footage. When you're adding. Let me go back to the barn was used as an accessory to. Your business, your office, your medical office. Now it becomes a principal use structure. We have to calculate that differently. We have to calculate the same as we do the office, the main office. So every 250 square feet, we need a parking spot. So we did the calculations, and today when I was doing my buying into the picture for the meeting, realized it was 2 stories. I didn't realize that before, but we didn't calculate parking for the second floor. So when you added. When you went from the main office, adding the second office, it makes the parking front a little higher. I did the calculations and you're right at the number. If you have 120 square foot office, we don't have to, we don't have to consider that in the zoning. It's just.
The number of people is more of a change.
Right.
The usage what we've been doing is going to change, but we can have an indefinite amount. I mean, parking is an issue and you want, you can have a definite amount of parking spaces in the structure. I don't envision it.
And it's moved right now anyway, honestly, because. If you're telling us about 10 by 12, actually, you're potentially up to almost 250. So it's a move point really. They're right on the number for parking.
Don't you just total up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I told it all up, and then if they required 2 more parking spaces upstairs because of office space, then we've got one over. So the office department requires 1, and we're right now, so it's kind of moved right now, but
So we got that.
So we're
that,
there.
so we can go ahead and get it all done.
All right.
So that's okay.
Yep, well, we should need to clarify
I
that.
just, now planning board jargon.
No, we just needed to. Right now, as our zoning is written, everything's based on everything, most is based on square footage of a certain use. And we need to go from a storage usage, 1,000 to an office, 250, we need 4 times more. Spot, or 2 times, 4 times more spots, so that's the reason we were trying to figure that out. But we're good with the number we have right now, so we're good to proceed. Yeah, right.
And if you think about the bar just for educational purposes, you know, we would have people show up for, you know, group visits for like, you know, 10, 12, 15 people easily walking in the structure. There's never gonna be that amount of people, right? And it's gonna be the same number of people, just that they're gonna be one building.
So we decided to clear that up before we.
Yeah.
Before we move on. We're good.
Now, back to my original question. Kyle, how do you deal with where he is utilizing, I guess it's a good point, but I'd like to know how you deal with if he has a lease. Parking.
I think that can count towards, I was starting to look it up actually because I know that doesn't happen very often. I know it's addressed in there. I do think that they can count towards their parking as well too.
Okay. We don't need to in this case, but if you could.
Yeah.
Give us some
I'm trying
information.
to look it up and pay attention.
Yeah, don't worry about it today. So this is email. All right, and there were some comments from the planning, community development planning staff about increased traffic and what have you. I don't think that's really an issue on the way down.
And
Based on any doctor's office.
It's not gonna change the number of people coming in. They're just gonna go to a different building if they got a deeper.
Well, and she did rightly indicate, and I think most of us notice it is the parking that's off the lot, and you address that as far as the at least if it becomes an issue. Because if you didn't have that, you shouldn't be parking on their property anyways.
Yeah, that would like.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions, comments? All to a public hearing, anyone in the public want to make any comments? No, close the public hearing portion. Then we have the seeker. They have any comments on the seeker? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, that the chair review the second part of the seeker and fill out no or small impacts may occur on questions 1 through 11, and then check the box on some where we can sign.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve appeal number 2361, request for a Class B area variance for 2 principal use dwellings on 1 person.
Second by Kelly, all right. Okay, we got 5 yes votes. You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Appreciate you participating in the process.
Thank you for your time. Have a nice
So it doesn't come out. All right, Darlene, come on down. All right. The last meeting, that was one we rejected it. The August 21st meeting was the last time you were here, correct?
For the 12 by 12.
Yep. And I was here, Kelly was here, Kim was here. Christine and Elizabeth were not. You told read over the, as you heard me discuss it, they read over the public comments. So they've got an idea of the opposition, so to speak. And I guess I'll just kind of read into the record what the building inspector's office found. The patio doesn't count against open space. It's allowed to be counted as open space because it's less than 30. The required open space. You just meet the amount of open space by about 30 square feet. It's required 50%, but you got 50.6%. And max coverage, right now you're 31.3, so you're over the 30%. And with your
We should have
shed,
discussed before, but I don't think any mentioned that. The exterior wall, the exterior one. Because I think that they're going to.
Oh, we're not talking about the addition.
So he said it on the 31, without this.
I think that was with the.
no,
That's 34.6.
but you're saying 31.3 is existing coverage.
I don't think we mentioned the exterior walls, the last time we talked, it was from the overhead, which I have lined over here. Over on the hand. So that adds up quite a bit.
The other, I guess it's.
So I think Scott, you had agreed that we think if we went at 30, stick with the 30, because the building inspector had allowed and did all the measurements at that time. I think they're not.
I was true, and that's why that, they did that addition.
Yeah.
And most of them, kind of been over 30, also, it's fine, but.
So I guess the question is, if she's at 30%, how much is she adding?
33.3. I can honestly tell you this type of stuff didn't happen before because we had the assessor's office here across the hall. And we go over, pull the card and take their measurements. Now we rely on satellite, so that's a good point.
So the property coverage, you show it as 1492. If she is at 30%. And she's adding 144, she's at 1437, correct? Go ahead.
If we don't exactly know what the measurement is, she could potentially be below the 30.
I think I remember the discussion that we believe that she is right at 30.
Yeah, I wasn't here that last meeting. So, last time she was here, so I don't recall Jim. And then I think it was you. I don't know that we got into that.
But you did verify the dimensions on the house itself,
No, it was just based on insanity.
Yeah, it's
Including the roof dimension, right? So you can see it's probably. Just on that one overhang. It's got 16 square feet right there.
Well, it's only 1 feet, so 1 foot over.
And 21 square feet on both sides. 42 square feet just in those two overhangs.
So I was okay with that 30. Because I didn't have to get it from that, on, over there before. So obviously it's 30. So 2.3% is mine. If you want to look at that. I would like to sort of picture it.
sure,
When I first moved in, my house would have been a lot of disrepair in 1900. This was brought to me by my neighbor who immediately showed up. This was the first thing he did when I moved in, was come over with his map and say, your house is on my property. So that was the first interaction I had with him, and that's about the only interaction I've had. Aside from the country. So my house right here. There was an addition, that was a kitchen that was 18 feet out.
Mhm.
And my current home in my addition is 18 feet out, but it also went out closer to Jeffrey and I moved it on straight. So I took it instead of 2 feet over, it's straight. And I put it in the kitchen, the dining room, and then first door, after the shower stall. So it's over, I get over. And take the shower in the business. So every time I go in there, I went to the upstairs, which is the bedroom, and then. But I realized this the porch here. So I know I did put an addition on, but I really wasn't increasing it much more than what my property was. It was an addition, over here, the porch addition, and then the kitchen. So that was. That was.
like that's.
That was exactly different. And then. This is what it was in 2018. I was actually at 360 square feet over. Which is. So I was originally 8.3%. So. This was my 8 by 10 that here, everything functional, I filled everything, you know, we had that stuff and I like to keep it neat. And I could announce it here. So I had an 8 by 10 and then I kind of did that on shed, which are probably. So the 14 by 20 is in the back of the. That was from the upstairs picture. Upstairs.
Do you regulate plastic sheds?
There were 5
It
feet.
depends on how big they are.
It was more than like how tall is that?
It was over 5 feet, no, it was over 5 feet, but I could stand up and just. And it was kind of where. I mean, current regulation, it was part of it, I asked her, but I'll take that down, and I did, this was on Jackie's side. For closer to. So I took that one down from that section. And then you cut that one. So I know, I can't even remember. So that's just the visual of the back of the. Of course, I said. And then this is Dial, prior to the other person who decided to show up. And say, oh my goodness, you know, where is she at? This is what it is. We got all our tree back there. When you started, but like, eroding all into here, that's why I was standing down below the hill, which is below that picture in the back of the trees are. That's where I was standing when I called the trees. To say, we used to sleep in the good, because as you can see, all this stuff is eroding back here. And he's dying in with the there, you know. That's why I'm kind of a survey, but surveys are.
That was the one that you put in.
That was the one I had, that was on my,
Okay.
where I was told my property down here. So when I bought the property, I was told that I owned this one, and I occupied that space. And it's only a car, trying to do something that. But, that's the picture of the. Like, the trees that were there, which I did try to find that, but. They wanted too much of those buildings are dilapidated, my house was very dilapidated, it's not really there. But it was there, so I did a lot to bring it up there and make it better. So I just wanted to bear that and. Because it's hard to do the population.
And the shed is primarily for lawn mower and snow blower.
I have a goal. But lights in that right now, but that's right where the ice comes off. So those are gonna be full of light switches, and it's, even my garbage can is over there, and that's not a good spot. I
So-
got my garbage can on the right hand side, my fence, where the shed was, to keep it nice and moving, but I'm cycling it.
Or alternatively, you could just park the stuff up against the property line to a carport.
That's what I got in my condos. Right. So I don't know.
So
The whole distance.
if we go right at 30. We say she's got 30%. Just 3.3% of which represents 57 square feet. This difference is 57 square feet. It's the. Which goes to 3.3, which it makes sense to me. That addition would have been allowed to go over the unit. And like I said, we don't have the resources that we used to have. The assessor's office across the street to verify 100%. Maybe we should start tape, but
Or maybe treasurer when you go out.
well, that in a perfect world, that's great, but I don't know if you listen or watch the county council meetings, they keep throwing stuff on us. It's not practical.
I only watch that when I want to go to sleep.
Probably just out of curiosity, I mean, did he remove some of the trees and stuff that were on your property? Like, you believe
Right
that,
down, yes, if I go straight, it's a rectangle property, and you cut right in that diagonal. So that is all the road, as you can see in that picture, right here, where it's all road, and he said to me, he goes, why don't you put the trees over there? Because I didn't want to affect their retaining wall, the battery that whole. Because both our companies, well, they were there when they 18 something. Jeffrey was in 1900, and my house was in 1900. I think I lived in the maid house, and Jeffrey was in the 18 house. Yeah. But anyway, so that's why I'm in a little bit of a disputed style, because I'm like, you need to stop, and you're just, you know, if you're taking that one little thing, that would just how it. And then it would have been less than. But I don't think it's. This was. They're on some other. And lives.
I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. That's just-
Join the club.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I've been there. It's not fun.
I mean, we try to dispute something, we don't say anybody you're talking about. I mean, we say hi, but. Not necessarily in your return. I did ask that, you know, to the end of where it's in the first. As you can see, in the overhead, you can see if there's something that is sufficient. I did my best. Okay.
You can't blame them.
Well, he wants to. Potentially, he could subdivide it, but. I don't think so, but. We can tell him.
Well, either way, I can't see it where you don't want to give up property.
Yeah, and I don't think it's coming in there, in the back, which the building inspectors told me that, no, honestly, knocks down another one. But that was my other thing, I'm like, I know you just scared, that used to be, but we got buried in our backyard, like, in 2020. And then after the last, board meeting, we got rid of the church, yeah, that is a good one. So we had it again in the back, but this time wide open. Before it was all trees. It was like other, but that's not part of the zoning. That's a different thing.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we can do the seeker. Did we? Oh. Well, it's like people need secrets.
I want to make a motion. For field 2357. To approve a class B area variance request to install a detached utility shed in the rear yard causing the overage in the lot coverage by 3.3%. 3.6. 3.3.
I'll say that.
Really? Yeah, 5 yes votes. Well, and I guess I will say that if you come back to cover more in the land, I will in all likelihood say no.
There's no more coverage to that.
I might be coming back for public comments.
Our patio is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Really, really pretty.
It's just the family life that they want to.
All right, I think we have a set of minutes.
I'll make a motion to review the September zoning board minutes and approve them as read.
Second. Kelly, all in favor? Aye. All right, no,
I make a motion to adjourn the October 16th.
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
I am so sorry. I would not have even remembered if I hadn't opened up my